What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Segment Podcast. I am joined by an ultimate squad right here from your middle top. We'll just go straight into this. We got
Episode of the Segment Podcast.
Adam Mock right here. What's up? What's up, Adam Mock?
What's happening?
And to his left, we have Rich McGee, Dainese, Orange County. Rich, say what is up.
What up, everyone?
Everybody knows this guy right here. This meatball, good friend of ours, Tony. The outsiders on the squad tonight, and then last but not least, we have Send It Frankie
Yo,
on the
what's
show
up?
tonight. And you guys might be wondering, like, why do you have such a big panel? And we even have Joey Yates. He's going to be joining us here in a second. But basically, what this is, you all, is the Dainese team. And we're going to learn a little bit about Dainese tonight. And we're going to learn about Rich McGee right here. So, Rich, if you wouldn't mind just kind of letting everybody know a little more about you, we'll go ahead and give you the floor, my man.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I am the store manager for Dainese here in Orange County, located in Costa Mesa, California. I have basically a background in the motorsports industry, spanning from riding motorcycles since I was a little kid, learning and riding to jumping on motorcycles, doing a couple of track days, and then going into racing. When I really dove into racing, I actually used mountain biking as a training tool. That's kind of what kind of helped me lead to winning the Formula 40 championship in the club racing series here in California. I've been working for Dainese for about a year now in the retail space, but I have about 6 to 8 years of retail store manager experience.
Awesome. And Rich, you were talking about your moto in the background there with Dainese and mountain biking to help you with fitness and preparing yourself for the races. What was the race that you said you won?
It was a series called CVMA, Chuckwalla Valley Raceway. It's about an hour east of Palm Springs.
Dang.
So I think you kind of scroll down all the way at the bottom. You'll see a picture of me, probably with all my trophies. So there's one of me racing up top. That's one of the training bikes I was using, called the Novale. It's about a 190cc little miniature full-on race bike. So it's one of the tools I use to kind of train and help me prepare for racing.
There was another picture up here. What is this one? Look at that bad boy.
That was from my early years of racing. That was probably back around 2009, 2010. As you can see, there's a yellow plate on that bike. That was my introduction to racing. So in racing, you don't just jump into the expert level. So you got to start off as an amateur. A yellow plate means you're in the amateur series.
Gotcha. So using the mountain bike to get some training in. Here's a pic of you getting some training in right there. And then fast forward, you joined Dainese, and we all know Dainese as kind of like a moto GP type of gear company, but they just released, or they have been releasing, and I'm new to this, but they have a mountain bike segment, which is pretty dope. And this is kind of how we all ended up here on this panel right now with Dainese. But can you tell the folks a little bit about how you got into Dainese and how you're impacting the mountain bike community with that brand?
So although I'm new to the company, I'm not new to the brand. When I first started racing, I was just kind of a novice like everybody else, just didn't really know what kind of gear to kind of get into. Luckily, I had some buddies that led me into a right path and would only allow me to wear some of the best. So I got introduced to my first race suit, which was Dainese Laguna Seca, which is just their entry level suit, and that was back in 2009 when I was racing. Fast forward all the way through, like I said, when I was mountain biking, I just found the passion for it as a training tool. At first, I just thought it was just going to be as training for road racing. Little did I know I got fully addicted to mountain biking to the point where I actually enjoy doing that a lot more now. The speeds and the crashes are a lot more um, gnarly. I can say road racing. I got hurt pretty bad doing that. But now now when I joined Dainese about a year ago, I noticed that they had a full mountain biking line. So I kind of started testing it and using it myself before. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's Costa Mesa Superior Avenue at its best. Um, so I just started testing out their gear, using it, kind of seeing what it was about. And my first instinct was one, how breathable and how light it was, and just the maneuverability. My older knee pads on the climbs would constantly always fall. So I'd kind of leave them down and just get to the top of the trailhead, pull everything back up, and then, kind of descend using the gear now that Dainese offers. And we'll kind of go through the line if you guys want, and I can show you kind of some of the nuances of each one.
Yeah, that would be cool. But this also, as you were with Dainese, and I think maybe like 6 months ago or so, this gentleman walked into your store and kind of helped introduce Dainese to the local community. Tony, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I didn't know Richie hit me up randomly on Instagram, and I was like pretty stoked that he hit me up. I try to answer every comment, but he kind of got my attention because he hit me up, and not only was he like a subscriber to the channel, but he was introducing me to a new brand that I didn't really know existed in mountain biking, and he was talking about um, basically the new products that are coming out and the ones that we're using right now. And I went down and met him, and I went into the store, and I was blown away because this is a company that has a huge background in moto and motorcycles, and I loved the attention to detail they had in just the suits and all of the apparel and basically had protection equipment they had on motorcycles. And I was like, if this company is going to make something that's like close to this, or this close to attention to detail for mountain biking, then it's going to be legit. So basically, we started working together on a slow level. As the products started to come into the store, he let me test them out, and that's kind of how our relationship built. And now we're friends. But like that's where I kind of came into the picture with Rich, is that he reached out to me and was like, let me know, like, hey, this is going to be a really rad thing, and I kind of came along for the ride. And I've been using the helmets now and the pads for, I want to say, almost a year now, and that's kind of what I've been riding. And basically, is him introducing me to this, and here we are.
I love it. I love it. And I found out something interesting too. And the panel, you guys feel free to chime in as well. But I didn't realize in 2015, Dainese purchased a mountain bike protective gear company. And Rich, I'll go ahead and let you tell that story. But what company did Dainese take some of that technology from?
So Dainese did in 2015. Dainese acquired POC, or some people know it as POC, and as we know, POC has been around the mountain bike industry for way longer than most of these other brands. And their background is more heavily into the knee pads, the elbow pads, and their helmets. That's kind of was their niche and what their market, their piece of the market share was. So when we acquired them, we actually kind of took a little bit of their technology and kind of mended it with what we know, as Tony said, what we know from road racing and impact protection when it comes to elbows, back protection, chest protection. We kind of dive into it a lot of segments. So we basically take the best of the best of everything. So we took the best of POX technology, and we even kind of dove into some of the environmental stuff. So like bees and their honeycombs and how they design and how strong they are. We kind of put that technology into our knee pads, our elbow pads, making them super light, super durable. The impact protection is unbeknownst to anybody else. So it's just not all about the impact. It's about dispersing that energy away from the area that's being hit or crashed on or whatever it may be.
Yeah, I've been reading up on that. And Adam Mock, you do such a good job talking about one of the features of the protective gear on these helmets. There's this twice me technology. Adam, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
It's so dope. Yeah. I see. I got my Linnea one right here, and you
Oh,
know what's funny? I got my GoPro on it. Like GoPro feels heavier than the helmet. That's not a joke. Like it's just. You know? But yeah, this if you can see the screen, and for those listening, the helmets have this built-in tech that's pretty sick. This Twice Me technology, where if you download the Twice Me app, or first responders have it. If you are knocked out somewhere on a trail, they can literally just put their phone up and scan your helmet, like with this app, and you can input all of your medical information. So you can put like your emergency contact in there, and if you're allergic to any medicines, your height, your weight, your name, all of that. And the other cool thing is, let's say you're hurt but conscious, you can even scan your own helmet, and it gives you the GPS coordinates of where you are, and it allows you to text that out to first responders, family members, anybody, so that they can locate you and know where you are. So it's pretty sick.
that is pretty cool. And a lot of things that Rich was talking about earlier on top of that twice me technology, I had to look it up because I had no idea, but I was reading there was a thing called Poisson's ratio. And it's all about dispersing energy. And in nature, there's like these honeycomb patterns where things make a perpendicular cutoff. So if you look at the knee pads, for example, that has them in there. Here, I'll just go ahead and bring these up real quick. If you guys can see this, I'm gonna go ahead and make our screens just a teeny bit bigger. Check out the way that that's designed, and the impact on this. From impact to disbursement causes an 80% reduction of impact force, which is insane. And when you're riding them, you feel like you have air conditioners on in the summertime. Joey would always say.
That's Joey's little device in heaven right there.
Exactly, which is pretty cool. Tony, I know you've been writing it for the last year. How do you feel about how the knee pads ride? Because I know you like to test things out pretty strongly
Yeah.
before you make any comments on it. But what have you gleaned so far?
Yeah, the ones that you just held up are what I've been riding in, and I love that they slide on and they stick. So a lot of knee pads I've had, they ride down, and as you get going, they slide down, or they have a Velcro strap that sometimes is not very straight or scratches you. So those right there, not only do they have that front barrier on the kneecap, where if you fall, it's not going to stick; it's going to slide a little bit instead of pulling down. But on the actual knee pad itself, it stays on your leg where you plant it from the beginning. So that's what I've been rocking on every ride, whether it's at the bike park or trails. And it's so far so good, so far so solid.
Nice. That's always good to hear. And Frankie, we got Send It Frankie who
Hey, what's
just
up?
joined the squad. What's up, Frankie? You are the most recent user of the Dainese gear. And what were you coming off of before?
I had an old school 7 IDP knee pads, the
Yep,
bulky ones.
yep, yeah. 7 makes some
So,
good gear.
I mean, it's good, but these are way better. So much
Yeah.
lighter.
What are your first impressions on throwing these on?
Um, really, from the switch from 7 IDP to this, really is the weight. Like this is so light, and like you said earlier, the air conditioning, and
Yeah.
and I really found a use for this metal casing.
Uh
It's perfect for taking pictures when you're aiming down at a rock.
huh.
I scratched it up a little bit, but I was taking pictures of Ellen, and you can actually pin that right on something really hard and not worry about scratching the entire knee pad. It's actually
Nice.
pretty cool.
That's pretty dope. That's pretty
Yeah.
dope. The and Rich, are those that plate that's on that? Is that a titanium plate or what kind of plate?
It's a steel plate.
Steel.
We do use titanium in some of our other stuff, but we kind of reserve that for our race suits, like our Magello RR that's fully airbag equipped. That's kind of where our magnesium kind of comes in. We save our magnesium and our carbon for some of our higher end, higher speed impact stuff.
Gotcha. That's cool, guys. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna go quickly to the chats. I just want to check in with everybody. We got quite a few people in today. I saw that Debbie Keogh is on the line. What's up, producer Deb? Check this guy out. This is Joe Yates. Craig, every time Mark says decoy, you have to take a shot. Sounds like they're doing a bunch of screwball shots back there. Adam Mock has his right there. Timothy Haley is in the audience. We got Trail Dogs in here, MTB Raging, MTB Mini Bomber from the Bomber Crew. What's up? Charlie Hicks is in the house. Emmanuel is here, Purple Heart veteran. And a lot of these folks were out at the Transcend ride today. There was probably, Adam, how many people do you think were out there at the Transcend group ride?
More than I could count. You had some great crews out there. That was great. I heard somebody say, like it was definitely over 100. So I heard someone say almost 200 people. There was such a big group in Vail. It's such a big park that, I love the way they set the ride up, though. It was like, let's gather, ride what you want to ride. We'll gather again at the end. I think that was a great way to do it.
Yeah, it was such a fun time.
Yeah.
We got Alpha MTB is on here, and we also have Spokesman MTB. Sounds like Spokesman is joining us from Disneyland, sitting in Disney California hotel watching the podcast. Not sure how long I could stay. Is there a charity attached to this guest? Good question. Is there a charity attached to this guest, Mr. Rich?
There is not, unfortunately, no charities as of yet. With us just trying to kind of hit the market in the U.S. with the MTB side, Dainese has always been really big in Europe. It's actually more widely used there than it is here in the U.S. So luckily, with me being a mountain biker and being involved in the help of you gentlemen, I'm trying to kind of make it a little bit more widely known and spread. So getting out to events, getting you guys involved. We'll be at Sky Park Bike Fest this year for the first time as one of the premier sponsors. So I'm kind of stoked to announce that. So we'll have a huge booth. We'll have all the lineup there, from the helmets, the shorts, the pants, the gloves. I'll have everything available for everybody to check out, and obviously if they want to purchase it, then have at it.
Nice. That's awesome. Cool. So we have an opportunity to grow with Diane. Everybody has an opportunity to grow with this brand into the community, which is super cool. Eric from Riding Dirty is on here from Arizona. What's up? Good to see you. Air Blair is here. That is probably who's passing out the screwball shots, is what I'm thinking. UO SoCal. Danny is in. Danny Milton. He says, I didn't know you guys were doing a podcast. I'm smoked from today. So Danny unfortunately didn't have his e-bike today, so he was on the pedal.
Man.
So we got some laps in today too. So good job, Danny. Trail Monster is in the house tonight. Thank you, Trail Monster, for being here. Air Blair, folks, with the super chat sticker of $4.99. And then follow up. Dang, check this out. Spokesman MTB with $19.99. Goodness.
Look at that.
Oh, thank you.
Give that man a segment token.
Yeah, exactly. Bureau of Bikes from Idaho is on. What's up, Christian? Good to see you, Ace. But yeah, and Mike Savicki is on. He says, take my money. Mike, if you're still on, what pad protection would you want from Dainese? What are you looking for? I saw him.
I
actually
know
bring some-
Mike's looking at the Linea.
Is
I know
he?
that for a fact. Yeah, totally. We were talking about it today, and it's sick. Hey, Rich, I'm curious for those who may not know, since Dainese bought POC. Will POC still operate under that brand umbrella by Dainese? So you'll have Dainese and POC still going on?
Yeah, so POC's still gonna kind of do a little bit of their own thing, just because they have quite a bit of momentum already. But being able to kind of pull from their technology, we're not gonna take their name and just abolish them. So we're gonna kind of still let them do their thing. They do it a little bit differently than we do, so it's gonna be everybody's gonna have a nice piece of the pie, I guess you could say, in the market.
Cool. I'm just noticing this, you guys. So I actually you can't see it here, but I have my old 790p helmet is right up here. And I think that thing is like around 900 and something grams is how much that weighed. And I love that helmet. It was a great helmet, kept me protected on a crash. But I'm going to pop this up here. This, oh, you can barely read it, but it says at just 570 grams, no full face MTB helmet with this level of protection offers such extremely low weight. Rich, can you talk to that? Because I've actually handed people my helmet out on the trail and they're like, "Are you kidding me?" But I mean, it's obviously it's DH rated. Is it not?
Fully DH rated. It meets I think there's 5 or 6 different certifications that true mountain bike DH helmet has. Actually, Adam and Tony probably know the ANSIs better than I do. I think Adam, you can speak to all those, can't you? As far as like all the different ratings that we were able to achieve.
Oh my gosh, it was more than I could keep up with, but I posted my video, and Tony did a great video on the helmet. But from what I remember, Dainese, the Linea, it exceeded all of the ratings, which was really impressive. And if any of you have a scale at home and like actually pick up the helmet, if it's a pound lighter, it's like about a pound lighter, or maybe over a pound lighter than the Bell Super DH convertible helmet. It's even lighter than the Troy Lee designed stage helmet. That's how light the thing is, which I think, Tony, you and I were talking the other day even about, like, because it's so light, it almost makes it difficult, right, to decide, like, do I just wear the full face or the half shell at this point?
Yeah, I've been wearing the full face a lot in Laguna and Aliso. I've been wanting to do that a lot lately, just because it's as I get older, or as I get smarter, maybe it's a safer thing to do. But I've been I have been very slight difference between that and the trail helmet. It's so light and so breathable that it really doesn't make sense for me to always bring the trail helmet if I have the option to bring this helmet. And you just take your you don't even have to like pop it up on the climbs or anything. It's just kind of breathes through. So yeah, it's been super comfortable, and I think I've had it now for about a month and a half, and I've used it more than the trail helmet.
And that's the outsider, folks.
Listen,
hey, Mark, pull that picture up for people who are actually watching it and not listening again, because how dope is the white helmet's profile? I swear it looks like your Ghost Rider. Yeah. It's just got this really awesome like skull profile. I think it's so sick, and that picture is outstanding of the profile of the helmet.
And it breathes super well. I mean, we have more vents than any other full face has been able to achieve. And that's one thing Dainese has kind of always done. We've, even in our motorcycle helmets, and now we are obviously pass that on into our full face. We don't just obviously meet the standards. We always want to exceed them to the point where it's unquestionable about wearing or the protection that you're getting.
We had a couple questions that came in from the audience, you guys. Emmanuel Jimenez, actually, he's asking, I'm looking for knee pads that doesn't slide down, but also has a shin guard with it. The pedal strikes are killer.
So we do have kind of a fix for the pedal strikes. Our knee pads will not cover all the way down. We wanted to keep them light and breathable and not too bulky. But I think we actually came out with something way better. Give me 1 second. Let me grab them and I'll show you.
Oh dang! This is like new. I don't know.
I'm a big fan of what he's about to show you because I was rocking them today, and on my ride recently, Tony and I just rode the other day with the Trail Dogs, and I was using this, and awesome.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
Is this a new launch? Is this a new release?
No, we've had them probably for about a month. So like I was saying, we want to keep our knee pads light and breathable and movable. So we don't want to make them too bulky, because when it comes time to making that much material or that much protection, it starts to weigh and kind of bind and bend. So we have our knee pads, and then we've got our padded socks.
What?
So right here on this
so
top,
comfortable.
I can't see it, but you can kind of see the outline right there.
Oh yeah.
We're fully padded, so it will protect from those pedal strikes or those, any brushes, or even some, like my Assegai front tire always grabs a rock and spits it out in front of me. So we went that direction with it. I won't name names, but there was a certain highly talented painter who's in the mountain bike industry, very keen on what we did with those socks, to the point where he bought a couple. So you may see somebody trying to I sent you guys a picture of who that was working around the store looking at our gear.
Oh
yeah.
Yes.
The socks are cool. Listen, beyond that padding, I'm just going to tell you right now, my two favorite socks to ride in, the Trail Dogs socks. Shout out to our friends, the Trail Dogs, and the Dainese ones with the shin, like the protectors. It goes up maybe, Rich, what is it, like 3 or 4 inches? I think there's a little bit from the padding to give you an idea of how far that goes up. The socks are crazy comfortable. Big fan. Actually, Rich, I was going to tell you, I'm going to come by and grab some more.
You got it. We got plenty.
Frankie, what so you're newest to the team. What gear did you get, and how are you feeling? We talked a little bit about the knee pads, but he's got stuff right there, folks.
So I got the knee, and then 1 second.
He's got something dope and new too.
Hey, while he's getting it, congrats to Send It Frankie for breaking the 1,000 subs threshold. I'm so stoked for him.
I got the elbow pads.
Oh yeah. That's got the same Poisson's ratio stuff on there. Yeah.
And it's got adjustments for the top where it goes to the biceps and in the forearms. So you Velcro. Actually pretty good.
They got very good. Does it got the silicone band inside of that thing too?
On the middle.
Okay.
No, it does. It does have the silicone band.
Nice.
And these are pretty good. They don't fall off. Like once you get the Velcro across, they stay on the elbow, because I have a lot of elbow pads. I had the POC ones before, and if you wear the POC sleeve ones, they kind of just want to go forward. Like when you're going downhill, they keep sliding forward. But these, they stay. And if you ride Vail, pretty rocky there. You're constantly on the rocks, and then these don't fall. These don't slip forward. Pretty good. I like it overall. Everything from Dainese is really awesome. I can't wait to get the helmet either. That thing looks
Frankie, I'll vouch for those elbow pads. I wore them at Vail today, and they don't slide. And Rich knows I wasn't necessarily a fan of the Velcro up top, because some Velcros are done where they tear up like your clothes. You know what I mean? Like if you're wearing a short sleeve or something, that Velcro can snag. But that Dainese Velcro is actually so thin. And when you lay it on right, it doesn't grab anything. So those elbow pads are sick.
Yeah, I love the elbow pads. I think those kind of work better for everybody, because obviously up top you might have a different bicep diameter. So it's nice to kind of have that adjustability up top and below, just for those different, muscle. I'm kind of scrawny, so I'm not going to show my guns today.
You're Rich. You're in great shape, dude. You're killing it, Mr. PR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a PR today on Comet. We got a testimony coming in on the helmet. It looks like Mr. Air Blair just picked up his new black Linnea 01 from Rich Dainese on Friday. The most amazing helmet I have ever owned or worn. Dang, that's a strong statement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Blair's a coach. He knows
Yeah,
helmets.
Air Blair's a mountain biking coach, so having that stamp of approval means a lot.
Mhm.
We got Emmanuel saying, "Shut up and take my money."
What part? We'll take all anything you want here.
So, I mean, as far as if people are looking to get into some of the Dainese gear here in the next like as we get into the heat, because one of the big features about the product is that yes, it's protective, yes, it's comfortable, but it actually breathes really well, especially all of us here in Southern California being in the heat. And I know Tony, we all try to ride early, but Tony goes a little bit later than some of us when he rides, so the heat's up. Tony, do you find a difference that when you're out there, does it breathe well for you?
Yeah. I mean, I wear pants. A lot of you guys make fun because I wear pants all the time, but yeah, I wear pants a lot. I just like the look, and I like that, especially in Laguna and stuff like that. I'm not getting scratched up by thorns and overgrownies, I call them. But it always breathes well. I mean, I've been only using these knee pads and at the bike park elbows for about a year. So yeah, I could speak to the breathability, and the pants that I've been using. The Dainese pants have been great. They're super comfortable and stretchy. I like that they're like the Fox pants I was using before. They were comfortable, but they were very stiff. Like once they didn't have any stretch to them. So with these, you're riding down the trail. Not only does it breathe with the pads, but the pants have that like little bit of extra room that you have that makes it a little bit that much more comfortable. I think Rich said he just brought them on an airplane to use as travel pants. So yeah, I can speak to the pants, the pads, all the things.
So Dainese offers. So we're talking protection, but Tony brought up a good point. There's pants. There's obviously you showed us protective socks. Like what all does Dainese offer for the mountain bike community?
So we are pretty much head to ankle at this point, everything but shoes, basically. So from your helmet to your goggles to your jersey, to obviously the chest and the back protection. That's where I kind of think that we kind of will lead the market, because that's something we've done in our road racing days and passed over to mountain biking. So yeah, jerseys, pants, shorts, chamois, hydration packs, gloves, socks. I mean, we're pretty much in the space all the way around. As the market grows, then we'll kind of look at it. We've had our ups and downs, but I think this is definitely our high point, and where we finally are going to make a huge impact in the mountain bike industry. I think we finally got it right. And I come from a long line of, like Tony, wearing Fox and wearing Troy Lee. And just like Tony, I won't wear something if it doesn't work. Just because I come from an industry of road racing, and like crashing and falling and getting hurt it's just like everybody else. I have to come to work. I have to manage this store. So not being able to come and work is it's not a negotiable for me. So having something that's super protective is important.
That's awesome, man. I had no idea that it spanned the full gamut of clothing line like that. So that's amazing. And I think on Tony's videos, I've seen his gloves, and it looks like there's protection built into the gloves as well. Is that
There is
design that
no
there is?
same honeycomb protection. We actually kind of went a little bit of a different route this year with the protection, with the glove protection. We have what's called we have several levels of protection. So our HGR is the most protective stuff that you can get. and then you get into your HGLs, and then your HGs. The HGRs have a little bit more impact protection now, where it spans all over the glove. Let me grab one and I can show you.
Dang, you got
Look at
protection.
it's like Santa Claus. He's got like he
I
can just like pull everything
I
out of
know.
there and
Hopefully he throws some out there for the people on the podcast tonight. Like, you
show
get
us.
some.
I think the gloves he's going to show. Here's what's interesting. At Vail today, I had like a mini wipeout, and I did one of those like rock slab hand slaps, and the gloves held up. The gloves absolutely held up. Like I was able to continue to ride with them and stuff. And if you get bushwhacked, I think the gloves that Rich has will absolutely help with that. Yeah, those are the gloves.
So you can see kind of right there. So you have full protection on every kind of impact. So just like Adam and myself, so even if you fall down and hit the back end, or if you get bushwhacked or anything else, it's going to definitely minimize the damage that you would normally receive, say, just on a thin normal glove.
Gotcha. That's cool. That's cool. We have a question here coming in from Burrell Bikes. And we also have been joined by Joey, Mr. Uncaged MTB. What's up, Joey? Thanks for popping on, brother.
Definitely. Sorry I'm late.
No, it's good. Joey, I think this question is for you, my man. I'm going to pop this up. Burrell Bikes is going to ask, my ego needs protection, gets hurt easy. Do you have a pad for that?
Ooh, I'm sure Rich has something for that.
You know what's funny is I think you do have protection for all types of stuff, Rich. Does Dainese, and did I see this as well? Do your Dainese jerseys have protection built into them too?
Not somewhat. So like a slide protection. So most like jerseys, if you fall and you kind of, obviously you tumble and you slide through the dirt, most jerseys will just kind of tear and rip apart, and you're buying a new jerseys. So we kind of did our research, just like we did with everything else, and kind of found out what the highest impact was in mountain biking. And I can vouch for this. It was the elbow area was kind of the highest impact that we kind of all sustain. So yeah, our jerseys have a little bit of what we call TPU on the outside of the jersey, where it will protect you. It will protect your jersey, so you won't. So say you go down, it won't burn through the fabric, and you won't get all those scratches or gnars or bruised up in that area.
Gotcha. Wait, can we rewind for 1 second, Rich? Because that's gold. You're telling me the research from Dainese shows the highest impact area we have is our elbows. Why aren't we wearing more elbow pads?
I wear mine all the time. I've poked and prodded a couple of these guilty faces on this podcast.
But like market, I have scars from my old elbow pad through them from hitting. That's how much like we could take that in. I just think that's mind blowing to think like that's the area that we should think about elbow pads as much as we think about our knee pads and gloves.
That's good. That's good research. I have some elbow stuff right here, and then when I crashed, Rich was like, "Bro, I gave you some elbow pads. Why don't you wear them?" I'm like, good points. I will be putting.
Because Mark's always flexing. Mark's always.
We have to learn the hard way sometimes.
Yeah, getting all the sand out of there and everything. Debbie Keogh says definitely the elbow pads and knees for me.
Mm-hmm.
Rich, as far as stock goes, like people can go on to the website at Dainese and purchase things, but is it better for them if they are local here in Southern California? Is it better for them to walk into the store and see you? And how much stock do you have?
So yeah, obviously always better to come in person, see it, touch it, feel it, try it on. We are an Italian brand. At the end of the day, we still kind of mimic some of the stitching and the fit on that end of things. So the fit may not fit the way you think it will. You may have to size up or down depending on what you're picking up. So yeah, definitely coming into the store, speaking to myself or one of my staff, we're all highly trained in fitting you and getting you the right size helmet.
little inside dunk there from Rich.
Who is that? Who was that directed towards?
Two of us in this group.
Not me. Not me, Tony, or Joey.
Not at all. So just trust the process. I mean, when we tell you some of the stuff will have to go through some break-in, we kind of know what it's going to do. As far as stock, luckily for me here in Orange County, this is the biggest store in the U.S. It's the flagship store for the U.S. It's the biggest. We have the most stock. And as far as the mountain biking stuff, I've actually worked really hard with the buyers in Italy and kind of showing them, like through you guys and through me, that and the 400 trail systems that are within tossing distance of the store, that this store kind of deserves to have a little bit of heavier stock. And so far it's proving to be right.
Excellent.
Hey, I want to say in regards to the store, just out of personal experience, y'all need to know this if you're listening or watching this. Rich has worked so hard to curate a group of us to represent Dainese, and I was blown away by the amount of gear that they're actually offering for mountain biking. And I get that there's not a one size fits all, for people. Like, we have our preferences, but they have a great selection of everything that he said, like from head to toe outside of the shoes to check out. But what's super cool is, with Rich being in the store in Costa Mesa, the OC store, the flagship store, Rich is a guy who rides our trails. He was out at Sky Park today. He goes on our group rides. He's a part of our mountain biking community. So this does not feel at all like some big giant conglomerate, that has no personal touch to it. Rich absolutely does. And if you go into that Dainese store, I'm just going to tell you, it's a cool experience. He's patient. He knows what he's talking about with the gear. It's cool to see what they're doing. And they're doing some incredibly innovative stuff that would blow your mind. And it might not be for everyone, but it's cool. Like hydration packs that are built into the armor, which I think is neat. Or like the socks with the shin pads on it. So there's just some really cool things. And if you want to get that feel of like supporting something local and supporting something part of that SoCal scene and that community, I really encourage you, check out that Dainese store over in Costa Mesa and, hook up with Rich and get to know him, because I think you'll be really stoked about what you find from it.
I love too, the first time I went in there, the mountain bike part, when Rich was trying to build it out, our stuff was in the back left corner, and it was like tiny, but Rich is like, dude, I've got big plans for the mountain bike scene. And now when you go in there, it is like more in the middle in the showcased area, and it is definitely bigger, which is awesome. Rich has been working hard for all of us who wants to get and try Dainese gear out of that store.
And hey, and to Mike Savicki's point, the dope bike you can see, if y'all want to check out the Outsiders Capra, check it out while you can.
It's not going to be there for long because bike park season's coming upon us. So I'm going to be thinking of having back.
If you want to see Tony's Izzo, it'll be there in the
Izzo.
Timothy Haley says we'll definitely have to make the drive and check it out. So Timothy Haley will be coming all the way down from the Valencia area over by Six Flags Magic Mountain. Nice. And Tim, I think that's a great option to come down there and try on the gear. Even us who live close to Dainese, Rich is always like, man, I need you to come in. I need you to try it on because I want you to be happy when you walk out of here.
Yeah.
We're kind of like joking a little bit about the helmets because the helmets are, we put those on every single ride, and Rich or Adam or anybody that wants to talk about just trying on the helmets is like, it's a big deal to come in and really try them on. Joey's got it right there.
Behind the scenes, I'll say, we all talk, and Rich is right. Trust the process. Rich does know what he's talking about, but my experience with the helmet was when I first put it on, I felt like I was between sizes, and I left with a helmet that actually was too big for me. And before I actually used that out on the trail, like I had to talk with Joey, Mark, I had to talk with you, Tony, I had to talk with you about it, about like everything from like the padding to stuff, but it's like everything else, right? It feels one way when you're in a store, and then you get on the trails and you're like, this is a non-issue, and it's sick, and it works, and it's right. And if you can trust that process, it's great. Helmets are so important, and I know we all want to feel comfortable with it. If you try on that, the Linea helmet, maybe it'll feel different for you. Maybe you're going to love it right away. But out on the trails, I think all of us can vouch, like, it feels radically different when you're actually in the moment. We feel safe with it.
Yeah.
And that's the nice thing about the helmet. We provide you with two different, technically three, because it's already have one installed, 3 different cheek size in there, 2 different neck rolls, and then 2 different headliners. So you can really customize it to the shape of your face, the crown of your head. I did that for a couple of you guys, just kind of moving some of those pads around and swapping them out really makes the difference in the helmet.
Exactly. Tony, were you going to say something about the helmet there?
I mean, I went through the same process that Adam did. I thought the helmet was the original one I got was a size large, but when I went back, Adam said he shared with me his process, and I went with medium large because the interior pads have so much customization that I was able to like go a size down and have an even lighter helmet and just have it fit even more securely. Like, worked out pretty good. Off topic, Frankie, what are you doing in Utah?
Oh, Gooseberry Mesa.
Nice, man. What else are you riding? Is it cold? What's
Oh, it's super nice around here. It's like right in the 60s, 70s. It's super nice.
Cool.
So we did Gooseberry Mesa this morning, and then afterwards we went to ride Gem. And then yesterday,
nice. That's a great one.
Yesterday we did Zen.
Nice.
And then, I think we might do something tomorrow morning and then drive back.
Nice. I'm planning out my summer travels right now. I got a big summer plan. I'm going to be doing Park City again, Bryan Head.
Nice.
Definitely going to head up Solitude's doing some more bike trails this year, which is rad, and they're like right in the Wasatch Mountains. And I'm trying to intertwine that with a Downeyville group trip that we're planning out, which I think some of the people here might be on. So with some rad stuff. That's cool. You're there like already, like pre-season. Well, it's actually Southern Utah. It's in season.
It's so good. It's so good right now. Especially Southern Utah, like it's like EMTB country. Like for those who don't know, like it's open. You can ride your e-bike anywhere you want.
Oh, that's awesome! I didn't know that.
Yeah. No restrictions at all, huh?
You don't get hassled, Frankie?
Dang.
No.
Are you filming for a new episode?
Yeah, filming for a new episode. Basically, I think it's going to be named like EMTB country, Southern Utah, something like that.
That's a strong name. That's a strong title, Frankie.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Of the trails that you've been on so far, is there one that's like just got those appreciation stations all over the place? Because that's some beautiful landscape out there.
Man, like
Zen
everywhere you go in Utah is appreciation station.
Hey, am I the only one who feels like you're infringing on a trademark if you go out and do this? I can't see me doing the outsider appreciation hand wave. No. I go to do it and I go, I can't do that's trademarked. I can't.
No, it's not.
I mean, you can if you say appreciation station, you have to pay 5 cents in royalties. If you actually do the gesture, it's $1.
Yeah, you can use it as much as you want. Just pay your dues.
Look at Tony just gave us one, a courtesy.
I saw Henry on that YT ride. He actually did your clothes for you.
Yeah.
He
he fooled me. I didn't know he was gonna go in there with that, but he's watching the vids, man. Yeah,
he's an actor, Tony. Of course, he's gonna. Who's gonna play Tony in the biopic? Henry Golding.
He's a one take pony too. Like you just turn the camera on that guy, and he's just like, I'm handsome and I know everything, and this is gonna happen first try. And like, oh my goodness, I'm shy now.
Jealous about that. Since we're all YouTubers here, for the most part, sometimes the simplest thing takes me like 1,000 takes just to get it right. Do you guys ever get into those stuck scenarios where you're just trying to either do an intro or a close and you just can't get it, or it just doesn't feel right?
Oh yeah.
Am I by myself on
It's
that?
bigger in
I
our
take
head.
that all back. I take it all back.
It's bigger in our heads, right? Than probably people view it. Like they don't know. There was one, Mark. So like when I got a chance to do the takeover video of you and Tony at Vail, I purposely left in for like a behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain, the amount of like Droney was up in the sky and I think you guys were doing like the appreciation thing, and it's like, let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Dude, there was so many edits in that video that you did for us. That was dope. And you put it inside that television. And then for those of you, the backstory on that is that I guess I recorded in such a weird setup. I had no clue that I was recording it that way. And when I was trying to review my stuff, it was like a tiny little square. And the only person that I know that could help with that was Adam Mock. So I talked to Tony. I said, Adam's gonna edit the video. I gave him full creativity to do whatever he wants. I think that's an okay thing. And then Tony, you did an intro for it, right? You sent something over, and you had like some paintings in the background.
Is that the nacho video, Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah, the nacho.
And Tony, that's one of my favorite like talking heads, because I think you got a painting of like all these beach women. You're like, yeah, Heather's really into that.
Oh yeah, beach flex. Yeah, I had a big painting of all these women in a hot tub drinking Coors Lights with cigarettes. Since my wife has made me get rid of that painting, but it was one of my favorites. And I paid like $300 for that thing. One year I was at the Pasadena flea market and I was like, that's the one. She didn't know me that well, so I think she just kind of let me go along with it. And it was in our living room for like 3 years. And finally, like, this is done. It's done. You've got your money's worth out of this. And I'm like, but the artist is going to be like famous one day. She's like, beach sluts will never be famous.
Wait, so you don't have the painting anymore? You don't have it
I don't
anymore?
have it. We
It's
gave
in
it
the
away.
garage.
Oh,
You gave it away?
Somebody wanted that quick. It was like an offer up for like 1 second.
Oh,
yeah.
dang.
Well, you know,
I don't
beach
know how
sluts is very provocative.
How
So
does it? Yeah, I mean, it's like beach sluts across the entire thing. So the weird part of that was it was in like the backside of our living room. So at night when the windows were open, like neighbors would be walking their dogs and they're like, beach sluts, huh? Well, these guys are into some stuff, huh?
it's so worth seeing. Even if you watch the 30 seconds of that video, it's worth checking out just to see the beach sluts.
I did not expect us talking about beach sluts tonight. What's happening?
Was that a one take for that intro that went off to Adam Malk?
Yeah, I usually do this isn't a brag. It's just that I don't like doing it. I usually just try to do it natural, and if I do it within one take, I'm done. Usually it's just like non-scripted. Like this week's video coming up Monday is going to be me. I threw Droney in the sky, and I turned the GoPro on, and I'm like, I got one shot at this because Droney doesn't have much life in him. So you gotta do it one try sometimes. So it's whatever comes out of my brain. You guys are stuck with it. It is what it is.
That is
I
amazing.
love it. Tony, you're so good at that. I think that's what makes your channel so compelling and authentic, is those moments are so raw. And I know I can speak for me as a fan of you and your channel. That's one of the things that really attracts me to it beyond the writing, is your ability just to kind of put that out. And you're like, that's just so real.
I just pretend I'm talking to my friends, and that's kind of weird how it feels like that. Like it just really turned into like everybody that comments feels like a buddy of mine. Everyone's so really usually 99% supportive. You always get the one guy that's troll surfing, but most of the time everyone's just like stoked on it. And I didn't expect that coming into being a YouTube channel. It's like, you always hear these horror stories of like, you got to have rough, tough skin and all this stuff, which you do. Believe me, that's part of it. But majority of the people are just stoked that you're putting in the work and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You do it well, man. You do it well.
Yeah. definitely do. How do you rattle off all the different types of food when you're like on a bike ride? You're like jamming down this hill. There's all these different lines you can choose from, and you're like talking about pasta and a sandwich and a rigatoni bologna. And all this
I don't
stuff.
know, man. I grew up with my mom making home cooked meals, and she's Italian, so I have a whole smorgasbord of dinners and stroganoffs to name off, and meatballs and cacciatoris. That there's an untapped market of food for sure. This week's for some reason I was thinking about the East Coast because I'm going back to visit. This week's is Cat's Deli of a bid.
Ooh.
Which is a delicious deli in New York, obviously.
That's why I'm always so hungry after watching your videos.
I know, right?
I thought I wanted to watch
say that?
I'm hungry right now.
Did you say that in this week's video coming up?
It's coming up on Monday, yeah. Cat's Deli of a bit with Droney in the sky, and you've got a beautiful Cat's Deli. That's my pitch. You got a Cat's Deli smorgasbord to look forward to.
Where were you riding? Where does this video take place? That's coming out on Monday.
Monroe Truck Trail in Glendora, California. It's a 7-mile climb up, and you are just on the top of this beautiful mountain. It's just like it's like a great mountain bike ride and a great trail ride. I've done it in both, and you've got 7-mile descent down, and for some reason, I didn't know this. It rained the night before, so all the plants were wet. The dirt was moist. It was just one of those, like, all of the things came together at once. And I'm really stoked on this one. It came out really good. Took me a couple days to edit with the drone footage and everything, but I think you guys are going to like it.
Nice.
I'm already excited now. I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Can't wait.
Tomorrow morning, 9.
I love it. Hey, speaking of YouTube channels, let me put a shine on Send It Frankie. If y'all aren't tuned into his channel, tune into it because he's focused on e-bikes and I love it. He's actually growing. He just got a new Tacoma and correct me if I'm wrong, Frankie, but you're like really going to focus on where these e-bike adventures can take you, like camping out, doing all the outdoorsy stuff like with the e-bike, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm going to try, I got a Tacoma and last year, me and my wife, we were planning on getting a van, right? And if you notice the price of vans in this last few years, it's so hard to invest in finance like a $50,000 for a van. So like we went back to the drawing board and said, okay, how are we going to go back out adventuring? And I was originally going to get something for the Ridgeline, like a camper setup, but no one wants to build anything for Ridgeline. So I waited for a long time for the Tacoma and I finally got it. And we're going to try and build a pop-up camper ourselves. And we're gonna go adventure all around and just trying to pick EMTB locations because a lot of people who get EMTBs, the first thing they ask is, where can I ride one legally? I mean, you can ride it anywhere you want, but I mean, I don't care where I ride. I don't care where I ride, but a lot of people ask. They're like, okay, can I go here legally? Can I not go here? And I think that's one of the things that, you're buying like something that you're buying like a $5,000, $6,000 bike. And the first thing you want to know is, I don't want to get a ticket. You don't want to get harassed. But usually what we do is just turn on turbo and forget whoever's trying to chase you down, right?
Doesn't Joey usually wake up and go, how can I get harassed today?
Wait, you can get harassed on an e-bike?
It hasn't happened yet, but you get dirty looks. You're like, look at this guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, I did the Archipelago ride in San Diego, which was an amazing fun time, and I brought the decoy. And I now knowing that people are trying to just finish that race because it's a 25 or 50 miler. It's pretty brutal going from like the different island green spaces to the next island green space. Lots of climbing, lots of tech. And there I am on the decoy like, hey, good morning. Excuse me, I'm coming through on your left again. Because I'd find something fun and I'd go play on it. And then I'd come back and then I'd pass the same crew. And man, that's hard.
Did you feel guilty, Mark? Did you feel guilty?
I did feel guilty. But it was a fun ride. But I also had mad respect for everybody that was completing that sucker. It's a tough one.
Hey, are we going to be on here for 5 minutes? I got to feed Pip.
Get Pip. Yeah, get Pip.
I got to feed him. And then
Right.
feed him.
Go
Get
feed him.
I'll be back in 2 minutes. All right.
Okay.
You know, Tony knows everybody on this is like, please go feed Pip.
We can bring another screen up with just Pip eating, maybe.
That would be very. That's a whole niche thing, right? It's
There we
kind of
go.
like the mukbang stuff that's going on. Just watching people eat. Watch Pip eat.
Right.
I got to give a quick shout out.
Oh,
Oh,
Unspoken.
Right? With
Yeah.
Unspoken.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
And just in case Craig is still on, Mark, what kind of bike do you ride?
Oh, I have a decoy, Craig.
Oh, nice. Adam, what do you ride? Oh, what's
Well-
Adam ride? Do you know?
Who's answering this? A decoy.
I think Mark should answer. What bike do we all ride?
Yeah. Was
So
Craig
wait,
questioning?
wait,
Was
hold
Craig
on.
questioning?
So Mark rides a decoy. Joey rides a decoy. Adam rides a decoy.
Oh, Frankie.
And Adam. Who else? Oh, no e-bike for this guy. Sorry.
Oh,
Rich
Oh,
hasn't had
we
an
all got
e-bike
e-bikes.
yet.
Rich is hustling on the trails every day, and it
I think
shows.
Craig
He
just
looks
passed
great.
out.
Yeah, Tony's on the decoy.
Yep.
Lots of Mike Savicki was on the decoy today. That was dope. I saw
Danny
Nora
said- Danny
on the
said-
decoy.
Hey, Danny worked hard for it today. You owe so proud. Like,
He did.
he worked so hard for it today.
There he is. He's still on. Bottle is quickly
He's
going.
awake.
shout out to Screwball. That stuff is delicious. Trail Dog gets a lot of shots.
He thought he made it too. He was like an hour in.
I love
Oh
this.
man, Mike Savicki says decoy all day. Yeah, he had that same one that I have. That Core 3 green. Such a sick
Yeah.
bike.
Well, look, if you
Very good.
decoy in Dainese, you're like double D in it. So that's
the double D's. So
It's just a
so
matter
no-
of time for Rich.
Yeah,
it is a
Just a
matter,
matter
of
of
time. for
time.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich, I have a question because listen, there's forums about this. The proper pronunciation is it Dainese?
Dainese.
Dainese.
Dainese. Now I'm gonna let you know, I have Italian neighbors and I asked them, and you're dead on, but it's so nuanced the way that they say it.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't even get it. I was like, I feel like a poser. But
Yeah.
Dainese is it. I know some people call it like Dainese or Dainese, but it's Dainese.
Dainese. So the way I kind of broke it down for her is Dainese. So ZEH at the end. So Dainese.
ZEH. And
Yeah.
knowledge has just been dropped on us.
Yeah.
Dainese.
Easiest way to pronounce it.
Okay.
Been around since 1972 doing what we do.
And now not only do we know how to pronounce it, we know Pip has been fed, so we can also
Yeah.
speak very soundly tonight.
He's chomping down right now.
That's awesome. MTV Radio says, I think you know I love my decoy and I love my screwball. Elbow cough. So what was
Very
the deal?
socially acceptable elbow cough.
Why is he going through so much screwball tonight? Somebody said challenge
Here,
him
I'll
to
tell you.
crowd?
You actually mentioned it earlier. I'll tell
Uh-oh.
you. Where did
Every
it
time
go?
you say decoy, Mark,
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
people take a shot. I'm already out.
Oh,
So
man.
That was just for Craig, though.
So if we could all help Joey actually name his decoy.
Oh, yes.
Joey is looking for a name for his decoy, and the names that have been dwindled down to are Joey. Take it from there.
Grimace.
Grimace.
Good one.
Just
Does-
the
does everybody-
purple dude from McDonald's. She has a kind of a strange story. Dino, which is the dinosaur from the Flintstones.
Barney.
Hayes from Jimi Hendrix. Right? Purple
Purple
Haze.
Haze.
Yeah.
What about Barney?
Barney is out. I already said Barney's out and Eggplant's out.
Although I did suggest purple sausage today, and that was frowned upon apparently.
You were changing your clothes from the ride. all we heard was you're over there changing. We looked over and you said purple sausage. We're like, oh no, I think he fell down today. So those are the names. And somebody asked why we are calling our bikes ducks. And it's just because they're the decoys. So we're just calling them ducks. So I thought Howard would be good. Howard
Yes,
the
Howard
duck.
the Duck.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Got
My
great names there
decoy,
from
my
Greg.
decoy is named. It has two names: the Mach 5 because it's my fifth
There you
bike,
go. I like
and
that.
that's what Speed Racer drove was the Mach
Yeah.
5.
Oh,
But I also call it Mother Nature because it's just got those dope like natural colorways. So it's the Mach 5, aka Mother Nature.
Very nice.
It's a very aggressive sounding name, Mother Nature. So.
Ooh. Hey, Joey, how about this one? This is from Air Blair because you got the purple and gold going on that thing.
Ooh, that's
Kobe.
nice.
Vote for Kobe.
Kobe.
Tony, does Tony have a name for his bike?
No, I don't name my bikes usually. I don't know.
What's up with that? You want to talk about it, Tony?
Yeah. Do I need to? But no, speaking of Kobe, do you guys have Apple TV? There's a really awesome series I watched today while I was editing and taking breaks on Magic Johnson. I grew up in Connecticut as a Celtics fan, but it's just I'm a huge documentary guy. I love every documentary. So it's a documentary of Magic Johnson's life, his career through the Lakers. And I'm also watching the TV show on HBO. So it's like this double dose. I'm getting a lot of Magic. I have a lot of Magic Johnson in my life right now. Basically, that's what I'm unburdening right now.
Wow. And there's your name, Joey.
Magic.
Magic Johnson.
Magic.
Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
Oh, wow.
Magic.
Air Blair says, fun fact, Tony, I don't name my bikes.
There you go.
Fun fact by Tony, I don't name my bikes.
If it's not food related, but
Adam, this one's for you. UO SoCal, Danny is asking, how is the ankle?
brother, it is not. It's trash.
Oh no,
It's not good for those
man.
who today at Velocity on Matco. There's 2 rock gardens, and we had fun on the first one, and I was going through the second one, which has that like quick, like thread the needle into like that tight left 90-degree turn, right? Sometimes you might maybe do a little mini track stand. My Afton shoes are so good, it felt like I was clipped in, and I don't know if I couldn't get my foot off or what, but like I paused too long on there, and I came down and rolled my ankle because I stepped down on something lower. But I got home and it has swelled up. It hurts right now, but I think I'm fueled on so much stoke from this MTV community that it doesn't matter. But there's a bit of a ball. Danny, I'm gonna text you a picture after this. You can see, but I appreciate you asking.
Danny, when you see this picture, you're gonna be like, "What is that? What is that? It's got veins and everything."
Yeah.
I did not know
Wait.
that was your ankle.
No.
It's a 49-year-old man's ankle after it got rolled. So
I've been there, Adam. I know your pain.
you have been there. That's right. It's
Yeah.
the weirdest thing. Like, so I got done with Matco, and we were gonna drop into Bullfrog. Is that the name of it?
That's
Mark?
right.
Oh,
And I
so
looked at
good.
Mark, and I was just like, "Hey, man, I rolled my ankle. I can hear it crunching, and I can feel it pulsing. Bullfrog, good for me to do." And he's like, "Yeah, brother, it's fine. Just roll everything."
Just roll everything and your ankle.
Yeah, and the ankle. Yeah, that was a good time. Bullfrog delivered.
That was such a good time.
Some steeps and loose today on that thing and those switchbacks. But poor Adam, I was thinking halfway through it, I was like, man, I don't remember being this steep and this chunky. I'm sorry, bro.
It was fun, dude. That was so fun, man. I love that.
Oh man, guys, we're already up on an hour. I want to go ahead and bring this to a close, but I do want to thank all of you for being on the podcast tonight. Our guest tonight, Dainese, in the spirit of the protection and everything that it is offering us mountain bikers here in Southern California. The lightness, the breathability of this gear is really, really cool. Upon closing, I'll just go around and see if anybody wants to add anything to what we have already or something that's new coming from your channel this next week. So, Adam, we'll just start with you. Anything in closing that you want to say?
Oh man, a lot of pressure. I want to say I love this community so much from the bottom of my heart. This community is incredible. The Transcend Ride today with all the groups that were out there, representing, just showed the power of this mountain biking community. I can thank everybody on this call, and I really want to. Mark, you've just always been, since I met you, you've been a great friend. You're a genuine human being, and I love your podcast, Joey. I feel the same about you, man. Like, I get around you and I smile, and it's not just your blue eyes. Tony, like I tell you every time, I give you your flowers, man. Like, I started a channel because Tony was such a big influence, and he's been, it's just been great getting to know him and developing a friendship with him and that kind of support. Frankie, I've been a fan of yours from the beginning, brother, and I love where you're going with everything. Rich, I love, like, if you all could hear the behind the scenes conversations, Rich literally, like, the first time I was in the shop, he admitted to me, he's like, he told me like about me, and I knew he had Tony and he was getting Mark. He's like, I want to get that guy. And Rich had his sights on things, and like, he's just been a gem of a human. Listen, if you're not checking out Mark's podcast and his channel, check it out. Check out what Uncaged MTV Joey Yates is doing on Instagram. Always check out The Outsider. That's a good time. It'll make you hungry. Frankie is constantly evolving. Go visit Rich at the Dainese store in Costa Mesa. And if you want to see what it's like for me to hang out with The Outsider and Trail Dogs, you can check out my video tomorrow at 9 a.m. after you watch The Outsider's video that he's very proud of with the cool drone footage and the one take wonder on it. So that's my piece. Thank you all.
Adam Mock, holy cow. Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, my internet's going out. I'm sorry, I gotta go. We'll get over to you, Mr. Outsider. Tony, anything you like to say?
So I'm following Adam. Huh? I know. All right. Adam,
you could always say ditto.
I mean, it's ditto for sure. That's a given. For me, I have a video going up with Adam tomorrow at 9 a.m. It's Droney McDroneface is back. But I want to say thanks to Rich for coming on the podcast tonight and for hooking it up and for representing a rad brand and for inviting us into that brand itself. And I think our journey's just begun. So cheers to you, Rich. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, and Tony, thank you for being so to speak the captain of this team. So man, if it wasn't for you, none of us would be here. So really appreciate you, Tony, on that aspect.
Cheers.
Joey Yates, anything you'd like to say in closing?
Yeah, definitely. I'm stoked to be part of this group. You guys are all amazing. Rich, as far as your brand and this company, it started off for me with the air-conditioned knee pads, right? And now this helmet is amazing. I haven't been on a ride yet where someone hasn't asked me, what is that? What brand is that? I haven't heard of it. And I just take it off and I hand it to them. And then immediately they're like, what? Is that even safe? Like, then I have to go through the whole talk, but it's amazing. Adam caught me today passing my helmet around. I think I even passed it to Adam. So yeah, this company's awesome. I love the gear and I'm stoked to be part of it. Thank you.
That's awesome. And then send it Frankie, who just hit 1,000 on his YouTube channel. We are so proud of you, bro. That is awesome.
Thanks, man.
Anything you like to say in closing out of Utah?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Rich too. Rich was the first person to recognize me in Sky Park when I was at 100 subscribers. So Rich has been with my channel for the longest time. So thank Rich, and thank you for letting me join the team. I'm excited, and I can't wait to get my hands on that helmet. I've been looking at all these guys wearing it, and I'm super stoked on it. Dude, that looks so good. I'm already trying to figure out where to put that's where my GoPro mount is going to be. Oh man, I'm definitely going to give you a call when I head back to California.
You got it. Nice.
Oh, and after you guys watch their YouTube on 9 o'clock, if you want to check out some e-bikes, come to my channel. I got another one coming out, and it's going to be the Trek Rail 5.
Oh, curious about that for sure. Yeah. And Rich, I just want to say thank you for representing such a cool brand. I love the fact that we can sit here and talk about it and introduce it to some of the folks out here in the mountain bike community that we know and love. that ride the same trails we ride, and you know, it was tragic that we sometimes lose people out on the trails, or we see helicopters out there. And that Twice Me technology makes me feel really good about having fellow mountain bikers, as far as where they are, GPS, all that stuff through that helmet. And you can wear a full face now for the same weight as a half shell, which is really dope. So thank you, Rich, for that. Really appreciate it. And Rich, in closing, is there anything that you'd like to say as well?
Yeah, I gotta, obviously a little bit long winded, but I gotta thank each and every one of you, starting from Tony, who kind of gave the brand a chance. I know he's one of those people that is genuine and won't use something unless it truly works. So him and I have been at this for, Tony, you realize we're going on a year on this, right?
Oh yeah, that's
A
right.
year on this adventure, and he's stuck with it. So knowing that we're hitting a year working on it, I think it really shows that the brand is here to stay. And then so thank you, Tony, for everything you've done for me and for the store and for the brand. I appreciate it. The it's just going to get better. So lots of things in the pipeline, and I've shared some of that with him, and there's more coming. Um, he brought Mark and introduced what an amazing person and genuine human you are, and just some words of motivation that you've given me when I've had some of the big wigs kind of crawling through here, poking and prodding at my store from Italy. Being there for me has been a great journey. So thank you, Mark, for having me on for the podcast and your support for the brand and what we stand for. And then from there, it kind of trickled down into me meeting Joey and him being such the ripper and jump king, and just following what he does is amazing. So I'm glad to have him on board. And Adam, man, buddy, what can I say about you? I mean, your words are just like Mark's. I mean, you also were there when I kind of needed just a little pick me up and motivation to kind of show this company that Southern California and just the mountain bike industry in the U.S. deserves to have this brand kind of leading the way in everybody else. And Frankie, buddy, dang, I think we've been at it, 2-3 years now since I first met you. I even
a long time ago.
have a little.
Pre-COVID.
I even have a little clip on one of those videos at the end of Sky Park. So I'm not a YouTuber. I'm nowhere near, but I'm happy to say I'm not one of those guys who will just kind of sell you the brand. I'm a user. I'm a believer. I come from a heavy industry of motorsports and mountain biking now. So thank you to everybody. Thanks for making time for the show.
Heck yeah. And with that being said, guys, as Adam Mock would say, peace and love. We're out, everybody. Thank you so much for being on. Really appreciate it. See you guys out on the trails.
Bye.
And gentlemen, we are clear.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
Nice one, huh?